Okay, let's take a look at the syllabus. Gives you my contact information again. The text is Joyner, American Popular Music, the third edition. If you can find a second edition or even a first edition, those will also work for the class. The page numbers will be off of the course outline. However, it's pretty easy to line everything up, and it'll save you some money. You definitely do need the text. There'll be some assignments out of the text that you'll need it for. There are texts. There's, I think, a second and a third edition in the library on reserve that you can also use. I'm not going to go through the entire syllabus here, just a few important points. I would suggest using either Google Chrome or Safari. They are the most stable browsers. Internet Explorer is horrible, and Firefox is, the newer version of Firefox, I think, is working fairly well. So I usually, when people start having some problems, usually it's related to their browser. I've already said this, the entire class is organized in the modules area of Canvas. Let's see, let's talk about the different assignments. So you have homework assignments. They will fall into four categories. You have review questions, so there will be some assignments which will be review questions from the book, and that's at the end of the chapter. There are review questions. You won't always have review questions. Much of the time you have essay assignments, and this is on some different subjects. I will show you some of those as we go through. And then the discussion boards are probably the easiest assignments in the class. Sometimes students don't do those, and it really will affect your grade. And we'll take a look at a discussion board also. And then there's some extra credit assignments, which are the review questions in the book also. It's important that you answer the questions in your own words the best that you can. There is some music jargon that you will need to be able to take out of the book, but try to answer it to your best ability in your own words. If you copy, I have a plagiarizer checker. I will know if you have copied from another person's paper, and you will get 0 points, and you may be I may have to report you to the Dean of Instruction, so don't do that, and everything will be good. The essay assignments are done with an MLA formatting. Here's a link to that. This isn't an English class, but I would just like you to, put your name, the title of the paper. It should be double spaced, 2 to 3 pages, and neat so I can read it. So that's really important. So take a look at the MLA formatting. And I'll talk a little bit more about the essays as we go through. And then the discussion boards, you can read through this. This is typical of any class. You're going to have different discussion boards where you post maybe a fact about a particular artist, or you view a video and you give your thoughts on that video. Here's a review question. Here is an example. So check this out to make sure that you are answering these questions in a complete way. Talk about the plagiarism, participation. If you were taking this on campus, you would be in class about 3.5 hours a week. If you put that amount of effort into this class, there's no reason you shouldn't get an A or B in this class. So the challenge a lot of the time for students is when they're taking online classes, it's a discipline problem where you don't go and log in, and then all of a sudden you miss assignments, and that's usually where the problems occur. So it's up to you to really stay on top of all the assignments. And there are lectures that are posted. I will show you those, and reading assignments, and there's also listening assignments. I will We're going to take a look at the listening assignments. And the quizzes, information and quizzes, you will have bi-weekly quizzes. So the class really is set up in bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks we'll have a different genre of music. And at the end of those 2 weeks you will have a test. The tests will come up on almost every section will come up on Thursdays. They will be open from 8 a.m. Thursday and up until 11 p.m. Saturday. And you will give them 2 attempts for each quiz. If you have technical problems, that's not an excuse for missing a quiz. That's why I give you 2 attempts. So I would suggest that you really are prepared for the first attempt, so that if something goes wrong in the second attempt, you've taken the quiz. The way that you don't want to take your quizzes is to not prepare, check out the quiz, and then the second time you have a better idea of what to do. The problem is if your internet goes down on the second attempt, you've kind of blown an attempt. So I would suggest that you really prepare for the quizzes and then take them. And there will be listening audio examples on the quizzes, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So again, the quizzes are always up Thursday through Saturday. The only exception is Thanksgiving week. That was moved back. The quiz was moved back because of Thanksgiving week, and that is in the course outline. I've put those dates in there, and it also is in the Canvas calendar. There's a practice quiz in the first week of class. This is a short quiz just to make sure that the audio is working on your computer and that you have an understanding of how the quizzes are set up. There's also a document submission paper in the first week of class. This is a very simple paper. It's really more of a test to see if you're submitting the documents correctly before a big 30-point essay assignment comes up. And all you have to do for the document submission paper is to just write a little paragraph about yourself, tell me who you are, and submit it in one of these formats. I have it set up so it will only you can only submit it as a docs, a doc, or a .rtf. Again, we've already talked about announcements and emails. This should not say D2L. I just realized I need to change that. That's what we used to use before we had Canvas. Check the grade book after you submitted your quiz. It should show up in the grade book. And I'm going to take a look at the midterm and final dates also. Okay, one other thing about the documents. If you use Pages, you need to convert your Pages document into a Word format, like a Docs or a Doc, and Pages does this very easily. I do use Pages, but the computer I grade on has Word, and it's the norm. So you're going to want to make that conversion so that you will be able to submit that. If you try to submit it as a Pages document, Canvas won't allow you to do that the way I have it set up. Okay, let's move to the midterm. The other quizzes are Thursday through Saturdays. The midterm, which is in week 9, starts at 8 a.m. on a Friday and goes till Saturday at 11 p.m. and you get 2 attempts. The tests are random questions from a larger pool, so no test will be the same. The midterm covers the material presented in the first 8 weeks of class, so even though you will have access to week 10, 11, 12, 13 as you're going through, it's not going to cover those weeks. It's only the first 8 weeks. And then this, excuse me, the same is for the final exam. It's on Saturday 12/14 beginning at 8 a.m. and Friday 12/14 beginning at 8 a.m. and Saturday 12/15 at 11 p.m. Till 11 p.m. you get 2 attempts. It covers the second 8 weeks of class. This is not right. I need to change this. You will be given 2 attempts for the final. And again, the test is multiple choice and it will be pulled from a larger pool. So that's a bit about the midterm and the final, and then you have some extra credit, which is due Thursday 11/8, 11 p.m. And that's the first assignment. The second assignment is due, yeah, yeah, 12, excuse me, yeah, 12/28. Okay. I just want to make sure that was right. That was correct. So, excuse me there. Okay. So that's just a word about the midterm, the final, and the extra credit assignments. It's important for you to realize you cannot take any late exams. If you miss an exam, you miss an exam. I won't open up under any circumstances the test. So you have plenty of time to get the test done, and you always know ahead of time when the tests are coming. So I am going to now move to the course outline very briefly, and we're going to look at that. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the course outline. Okay, here it shows you the deadline for each quiz is 11 p.m. on the corresponding Saturday. The deadline for each homework assignment and essay assignment is 11 p.m. on the corresponding Thursday. The deadline for the discussion assignments is 11 p.m. on the corresponding Thursday. So the two main days that you need to keep track of is Thursday and Saturday every 2 weeks. The exception is Thanksgiving week. I moved the due dates back to week 14. And so everything is due on Wednesday of Thanksgiving week, including the homework, and then the quiz we open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That way you wouldn't get stuck doing this during Thanksgiving week. All the due dates can be found in the course calendar. I'm going to keep repeating that because that will tell you when everything is due always. Then I just have this broken down into what we're doing each week. So you got week 1, week 2, you got quiz 1. Week 3 and 4, you get quiz 2. Week 5 and 6, jazz. I didn't put that in there, but yeah, there it is, quiz 3. Essay assignment 2, discussion assignment 3, etc. So the course outline will tell you what we're doing, and the course calendar will tell you when the assignments are due. Week 9, you have a review and midterm. You'll have 2 days to complete the midterm exam, which is a Friday, Saturday. And then we go into weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then week 16, you have the review and final exam, and you will have 2 days to complete the final exam. And that's also on a Friday, Saturday. So this will, if you're not sure when we're doing stuff and what's coming up, take a look at the course outline.